possible for you is the ability to influence people.
I see you at every hour of the day, no matter what time it is, day or night. There's Sean Callaghy live.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, we're influencers influencing influencers to merge ecosystems to make the world an even greater place. Yes. So thank you for that, Vivian. Back in Long Beach Island, you remember being here, Vivian? You and I sat in the couch just a few feet away at the final night of the Unblinded immersion, had an amazing conversation. So I remember that like it was 5 minutes ago. And on this thankful Thursday, Vivian, here's my question for you. You could actually drive here. Will you drive here tonight and jump in the Atlantic Ocean in 38-degree waters tonight?
How is that appealing, Sean? If you had said wine, come and talk, and let's get to unpack and know each other, and like it's gonna be cool, we're gonna have yummy foods, or come cook for me, I would have said yes.
All right. So Vivian, Bella said no.
I will come to Long Beach Island if you will come cook for me. That I will come for.
I'm in.
Right.
Let's do it.
So Vivian, we got some amazing participants and judges today. Yes, let's take it in.
We do. We have in from Parsippany, New Jersey, John Lampkin in the house. Woo! Let me have some energy, John. Give me something. Woo! That's it.
There we go.
20 years in, and John Lampkin is reigning king at originating loans. In fact, for the past 10 years in a row, he's been named top 1% mortgage bankers in the country by Mortgage Origination magazine. In the last 3 years, he's funded over, get this, Sean, 300 million in loans, landing him in the Scotsman Guide as top 200 originators in the country. So welcome.
I had the privilege of just sticking in it on my New York friends' faces with the dominance that the Boston sport teams have had over the last 20 years.
That's a nice thing. Can I give you my fun fact for today?
Sure.
I was in box 113A, 113A at Shea Stadium, which is right on the edge of where the dirt meets the outfield in Shea Stadium.
In 1986?
In October of 1986, Game 6, when the ball rolled through Bill Buckner's legs.
Nice. That's awesome.
A day like it was yesterday.
Yes. And so I'm saying that in honor both of you, John, and Mr. Orange Frank Clark. And there was true story, 2 guys from Boston, and I'm 16. This is like, there's no way the Mets are not winning the World Series. When I was 14, 15, and 16 on a Friday or Saturday night, I would not go out with my friends if Dwight Gooden was pitching. I was that locked in. I'm not a Yankee person at all. I'm a Met fan. So it's 1986, and I know we're going to win. You know, they won 108 games that year, one of the greatest regular seasons in baseball history. And now it's 3-2. The Mets are losing to the Red Sox in the last inning. Footnote, I should back up. In the 9th inning, I was sitting in the last row of the upper deck in Shea Stadium. And if some of you remember, Vivian, how about this? Somebody jumped out of an airplane and parachuted into the game and like got arrested, and it was like craziness. But as they came into the stadium, we saw them early because we were sitting literally in the last row of the upper deck because my dad had tickets through work and he was sitting in the front row with some customers. So in that, as the 10th inning started, the extra innings, and if the Mets lose, they lose the World Series to Red Sox. My dad had a broken ankle from football. My dad comes up to the upper deck, gets me, and we start the slow progression through Shea Stadium down to the front row. As we get to the landing from the upper deck, down all these steps to get to just like the tunnel to go down like the elevators right to the field level. Dave Henderson of the Red Sox hits a home run. So the Mets are down 4-3. We come down through the entire thing. We come out, and I see the Mets are down 5-3. The Red Sox scored another run while we're in the tunnels. So it goes to the last inning. Wally Backman leads off for the Mets and flies out. The left field. Keith Hernandez hits a ball hard to center field, but right at the center fielder, and we have 2 outs. And there's these 2 drunk guys from Boston, and they are sitting there, and they're screaming like, 2 outs to go, like 1 out to go, like F the New York, F the Mets. And like I have tears pouring down my face. And I have
Was
such
that John Lampkin?
it might have been John Lampkin. So John, I'm seeing if that was you. So so then Gary Carter gets 2 strikes and fouls off a pitch and gets a base hit. So we have a runner on. Kevin Mitchell comes up, gets 2 strikes, gets a base hit. Ray Knight comes up, gets a base hit. So like when Gary Carter got the hit, nothing happened because everybody was still dead and not believing, right? When Kevin Mitchell got the hit, there was like a spark of like a tiny bit of life. There was like a little bit of a murmur from the crowd. When Ray Knight gets the hit, the whole crowd explodes and everybody becomes alive. And like tears come down my face. I'm sitting next to my heart is beating, right? And all of a sudden, up comes Mookie Wilson. And folks forget this because they blame Bill Buckner, right? But with 2 strikes on Mookie Wilson, Calvin Schiraldi throws a wild pitch. And in comes, I guess it was Ray Knight to score the tying run. Wait, was Gary Carter scored the first? No, Kevin Mitchell comes in and scored the tying run. Ray Knight goes to second base, and it's a tie game. And everybody's going absolutely bananas.
Crazy.
Right? And then Mookie Wilson then hits a slow ground ball towards Bill Buckner. And all I'm thinking is he's gonna beat him to first base. He's gonna beat it out. He's gonna beat it out. And so like I'm like Mookie, like Bill Buckner, Mookie, Bill Buckner. And we're right there. Like I'm 20 feet from first base and like 20 feet from Bill Buckner. And all of a sudden the ball rose. Check out where box 113A is someday on Google just to see like exactly where that was. And the ball rose through Buckner's legs. And the first thing I do, whatever this means, it means. I was a competitive athlete growing up. I played college baseball at Columbia. Is I start, like my dad had never heard me use the F word. I start mother effing these Boston people like an absolute lunatic. Some guy grabs one of their hats and lights it on fire and is like holding it up like right there, like near the front row, burning a Boston hat. And all of this is recorded on national television because
awesome.
Right after the run scores, there's an overhead crowd shot and my dad and I are right in the middle. And all you see is everybody facing the field cheering. And I have a broken ankle. I'm jumping up and down on my chair, but I have my hand on my dad's white Met jacket, but I'm looking this way, screaming at the Red Sox. You don't know what I'm doing. So you see me like, my head bouncing like this way, not looking at the field. And it's that moment. So John, with all of that said,
That's a great story.
I'm still happy that you guys beat the Yankees. So congratulations.
Thank you.
But the one thing I want to know is how do you remember what box number you were in?
Thank you.
1986.
Thank you. And I was going to ask the same question that you're asking, Bella, because do you have that? Mary Lou Henner, there's a select few of people that have beyond eidetic memory. They just have complete feeling and every recollection of every memory that they've ever had. Do you have that? Is that what you have?
I definitely do not. So I failed freshman high school geometry for the year. I think I got a C- at Columbia in every semester of taking Spanish. So Vivian, we've never had that fun fact. So yeah, I definitely do not. But the things that matter, I'm very present. When it matters, I am super present and remember those things. That was one of the greatest.
You are more than present.
Yeah. What that did.
Fun follow-up to that. 1986, same game, same inning. I'm a Yankee fan in Boston at Boston University at a dorm party, watching the game. We just ran out of beer. I'm like, this game's over. Looks like the series is over. I'll watch to the last out and then I'll go from the beer on. I'm standing in the doorway watching this all emerge and then slowly walk back into the room and sit down as this drama is unfolding. And I'm screaming like hell, although I'm a Yankee fan, I hate the Red Sox, right? So I want the Red Sox to get beaten. And that was I could hear the people already celebrating outside out of the dorm room, all over Boston. Fireworks are literally going off. People are prematurely celebrating. People are jumping up and down. You can hear the screaming and celebrating. The best sound I ever heard was the deathly silence. I went out for my beer run after the game was over and the Red Sox lost, and people had this devastated look on their face, and I was so excited.
It was unbelievable. And on national television, which I didn't find out until I watched, we taped the game on the VCR. So we get home, we watch it. They actually announced Marty Barrett as the MVP of the World Series from the Red Sox during that bottom of the 10th inning when there was either 1 or 2 outs, presuming the Mets had lost. So before the game ended, they announced the Marty Barrett as MVP of the World Series. It was unbelievable. So they had to like change that. There was the game the next day. And by the way, final fun fact about that is the Mets were down 3 runs again in the 5th inning of Game 7 that year. So absolutely extraordinary. And I share that in that much detail because what the Real Raw stands for, what Unblinded stands for, is the concept of creating that which people would think is not possible, which is super possible. It's magic. Magic happens, but it's really advanced science. And so what happened that day was statistically possible. People on the team, some of the Mets had given up. Gary Carter hadn't, and he got everything going. And it was an extraordinary moment to demonstrate what's possible. And every single situation in my life to this day, when people said it's impossible, I've remembered that inning, that night, and deeply emotionally. Lives of people in my family that people said we're going to die, in moments of building business and taking risk and, jumping off of proverbial cliffs. And that's possible for all of us. And so if that's what the Real Raw can stand for today, then I'm grateful, John, that you're from Boston and we had that conversation. So thank you for being here today.
Great story.
Yeah, thank you. Vivian, we got more.
Yes. You know what? I was thinking though, Sean, that have you watched lately? There's a show on Netflix with Nicolas Cage and he's deconstructing cuss languages and cuss words. And the one that you were mentioning. So of course I want footage of you. And do you know what the F word actually means? Although it has had many meanings all throughout.
I have heard of this show. Somebody told me it's wonderful and I do not know what it originates from. No.
So apparently before it had a sexual connotation and became whatever, censorable or the best word to use in so many different ways, it meant hit, like to hit someone.
No way.
There you go. Oh, factoid of the day.
Vivian's fun fact for today. That is amazing.
Very interesting.
Etymology of the F word. I love it.
Yeah.
You stole my fun fact.
Oh.
And there are other ones, the S word and all that other stuff, which is so fun to watch and all the actors talking about it. So I encourage it highly.
Yes. But quickly, Bella, maybe your fun fact could be how many times a day you say the F word. That could be a fun fact.
That would be a fun fact. It's an effing lot. I can tell you that.
Right. So John, I'm sorry. What is your fun fact?
Right. John, what is your fun fact?
And you guys just asked me that? Didn't I say I'm from Boston?
That was your fun fact?
Well, you said what was a fun fact? It's been fun to be rooting for the Boston team since I moved to New York in 1991.
Oh, thank you. You did. Okay. We want to make sure we got that. Thank you for that. Okay.
So
So
with another one, I mean,
yeah, no, somebody had said that we had. Okay. So Vivian, who's next?
Oh my gosh, we have Tiffany Johnson in from Cibolo, Texas. Gorgeous lady in the house. Although all the ladies are gorgeous here. Founder and president of Principium Resources. Here, Tiffany's a patient loyalty and employee retention strategist, creating custom programs that create a rocking world culture. She went from getting a BS in health administration to an MBA to now a doctor of business administration, all from Phoenix University. As a problem-solving genie, Dr. Tiffany's created an award-winning process that led to a 98% improvement in healthcare facilities outpatient, which was then adopted as a standard of excellence by numerous hospitals and hailed as best practice. As trainer, speaker, coach, she loves to help her community. She coaches Reagan High School's incubator programs and volunteers as vice chair for SCORE in San Antonio. So welcome, Dr. Tiffany Johnson.
Thank you. Thank you. Very
Actually,
excited.
We like genies here. So tell us about the geniness. Where does that derive from?
The geniness. I would have to say, coming from a small town in the country, growing up in a culture where right out of high school, you get married and have kids, and there's really no inspiration to be anything different, just finding myself, finding my voice after having 5 kids, and then being that role model for them. I wanted them to know that they can do anything possible. It didn't matter what kind of things they had in place, having the 5 kids, going to school the whole time. And I will actually finish my DBA this year. So at the end of this year, I will be Dr. Johnson. So super exciting.
We're going to call you Dr. Johnson.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And what's your fun fact?
My fun fact is 3 of my 5 kids are in the military, and all 3 are in different branches. So we've got 1 in the Navy, 1 in the Air Force, and I have my Marine.
That is a super fun
Wow,
fact.
that is
And
a fun fact.
thank you for raising such incredible people serving our nation. And please thank them as well.
I will. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Vivian, got some judges today.
We do. We have, you're going to love this, Sean, Frank Clark in the house. And it's not Mr. Orange, it's Mr. Green.
I'm making that up on the fly.
Yeah, look at that. He even has orange
You have
glasses.
Mr. Orange
Yeah,
glasses.
that's the wrong
gotta-
Mr. That's,
We're
that's
going to get
the
you
wrong
we're
Frank
gonna
Clark,
get you green
dude.
ones.
I do. I just wear these all
Yeah.
the time.
I'm not Mr. Orange.
So we're going with Mr. Green, but like we'll pretend they're orange. How you doing, Mr. Green?
Doing great. How you doing, Sean?
Doing awesome. Doing awesome.
Thanks.
So,
Thanks
yes,
for having
Vivian,
me on.
let's hear about this amazing man.
Oh my goodness. He's in from Tarrytown, and of the many businesses he owns, Frank is CEO of Frank Consulting. And as a business consultant for over 30 years, he's changing lives daily. And he went from driving a forklift at his grandfather's pallet factory at the age of 14 to being a quant on Wall Street, to being a real estate developer, to founding one of the most important medical devices called Cytosorb that has
Cytosorbents.
saved Cytosorb? What did you say?
Cytosorbents.
Cytosorbents that has saved more than 110,000 COVID patients.
Oh my
Helped
God.
raise, I know.
No, 110,000 treatments, not all on COVID patients. A lot of them were on other critical illnesses such as sepsis, septic shock, acute organ failure, multiple organ failure,
Wow.
cardiac patients, and other things. So,
Mm.
Thank you.
use.
That is incredible. Incredible.
But yeah, it's been used to treat over 3,000 COVID-19 patients all over the world. It's distributed in 67 countries globally.
So Frank, that's extraordinary. What does Mr. Green though say to Mr. Orange?
I just made that up about 5 minutes ago.
You got to live
Everybody
up to
keeps
that.
calling me Mr. Orange. I'm like, I'm not Mr. Orange.
No, but you're now Mr. Green. So what's up?
Yes, you've been dubbed. So what message do you send to Mr. Orange?
We just spoke a week ago, and we're going to probably do at least an interview or a podcast together. So
All right. So that is amazing. That is absolutely
yeah. So I've been in the Tony Robbins community for over 27 years. I've been studying influence, business, and persuasion for 35 years. Fun fact: you mentioned jumping off a proverbial cliff. I've jumped off of actual cliffs as a rock climber for over 30 years. And an adrenaline junkie.
awesome.
And another fun Mets fact, I was at game 3 of the World Series in 2000, which the Mets won. That was the only game they won against my Yankees. But I was in the clubhouse. My brother, who also went to Columbia, was a reporter and got me press passes. So I was in the clubhouse as Al Leiter was receiving, I believe, the Roberto Clemente Award for the press conference.
What is your brother's name?
Patrick Clark.
Interesting. And what years was he at Columbia?
He was there. He graduated in '88, but he was there on the extended duration plan.
Wow. So we had an overlap because I went in the fall of '88. So if he was still there, we would have just missed each other then.
Well, yeah. Well, I was living in the neighborhood then. I moved. Let's see. I think I was living on 109th and Broadway around '89ish.
Did you go to Cannon's Bar?
Cannons. That sounds really familiar. I used to go to the West Side. What was it called?
It was on 110th and Broadway, Cannon's.
Oh, yeah. That I know that place. I didn't go there much. We went to Lucy's Surfeteria, if you remember that place.
Of course, yes.
Lucy's and
Somebody pulled a gun on us in Lucy's.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
I'll tell you a fun fact about Lucy's. I'm sitting there by myself having a drink, and I meet, I'm wearing a Tommy Hilfiger jacket, which is only notable because basically his brother comes in, I didn't know at the time, starts asking me about my jacket. And I was like, oh yeah, my girlfriend got it for me. He's like, oh, that's, it's one of the better designed ones or whatever. It turns out he was Tommy Hilfiger's brother. Lived from me and was in a rock and roll band, and I became friends with him.
That is absolutely. Listen, this today is like what it looks like, and we're having an unbelievable amount of fun connecting in these synergies. So we are like wildly off timing track, but it has been absolutely a pleasure, to connect with each of you. And we got to get to some more fine folks, but yeah. Frank,
Wait, John, did you say you're off timing track? That's just so unusual.
I was going to get you off track even further by asking you about your rock climbing capabilities, because I'm sure you have plenty.
I am sure. What's your favorite mountain you've ever climbed?
I'm a big fan of the Gunks up in Newport, the Shawangunk Mountains, but I've also climbed in Maine. I've climbed out west in Joshua Tree. I did a week-long outward bound in Joshua Tree National Park, which was awesome.
Awesome.
A lot of indoor climbing. Used to be in the rock gym in the city.
Yes. So would you mind if like Bella Verita keeps busting my chops, would you like help her climb up the mountain and not down? Would that be like doable? Or
I can help you
Fun
with
fact,
that.
I have been mountain climbing blindfolded before.
Nice.
Amazing. Okay, Vivian, let's rock and roll.
Well, we have another avid traveler here, and it's one of our very own. Kayla Olson is in the house. Woo! She is booking manager for Unblinded Mastery. Kayla is all about creating powerful relationships that are in alignment, for she believes it leads to magical business growth. And that is why she's the booking manager here. And up to date, she's helped clients reach thousands of customers through events and online media. So welcome, Kayla Olson.
What's up, Kayla? Massively understated, has booked people on the biggest stages all over the world. Kayla, welcome. Thank you for being here. And what is a fun fact for you?
I am a Louisiana girl living in Colorado. I love to throw parties. My favorite party is a big Mardi Gras party. So COVID needs to go away so we can have a big Mardi Gras party this year.
Now I understand why you and Bella are friends. Like, I get it.
Clearly.
Like everything is clear now.
Clearly.
Yes. So that is a Vivian, sort of a hello to yes criteria initially for Bella Verita is like the love of massive parties. So Kayla, I am not confused. And thank you so much for everything that you're doing in the world and supporting, and super excited for the journey we have begun.
I'm excited. Nice to be here.
Awesome. Hey, well, actually, quick question, Kayla. Go ahead, Vivian.
No. Go ahead.
Yeah, Kayla, what's your favorite thing to do besides throw big parties when you're in Colorado?
I do a lot of hiking. Yeah. Not necessarily rock climbing like you guys, but we do a lot of hiking.
The next logical step.
Pikes Peak is actually, you can't really see it, but there's Pikes Peak right there in my backyard. So
nice.
We just walk outside and do a little hike.
Very, very cool.
Beautiful.
Awesome. Yeah. So I think Frank is going to come by and do some rock climbing in your backyard, but you'll be good.
Love Colorado. Right? Love Colorado. Ski season now, but I'll hike in the winter. I don't care.
You know what we need, Bella?
What do we need?
Some sort of experience where we can go climbing on mountains by hiding wine bottles in certain places, and it becomes like a treasure.
I'm in if y'all do that.
I can definitely help you with that.
I love it.
I think that's what needs to happen.
I think we've got a tribe.
Treasure hunt, wine treasure hunt.
That is amazing. So, amazing. The wine mountain climbing Mardi Gras. Vivian, we got one more amazing judge.
Yes, we do. And from Murrieta, California, we have Zach Tandler in the house. Zach went from being a waiter in a Middle Eastern restaurant to owner of Soul Provider, his own solar company. He's fueled in knowing that on a practical level, not only does he help a person save on electric bills, but they're in turn helping the planet. And today in a pandemic, this is a win-win for everyone. So welcome, Zach Tandler.
Zach,
thank you.
What's up, sir? How are you?
I'm still thinking about that wine scavenger hunt, to be honest. I think it's a great idea. I might start a whole new business with that.
You'll thank me for it. Name it the Vivian Hunt.
Wait, where did Bella go? Where did Bella go?
Bella, Vivian and Bella Hunt.
Yeah. Don't leave me behind.
I'm sorry.
Zach, what's a fun fact, my friend?
Fun fact. When I met my wife and I hit on her, she didn't know anything that I was saying because she didn't speak any English whatsoever.
Goodness. And so let's lean into this a little bit then, Zach.
Yeah.
How are you hitting on her? Like what?
I think it's kind of goes hand in hand with sales and waitering, and it's just, you sometimes you just have to be, as a guy, you just have to work up that courage just for that. You're just like 10 seconds of courage. That's all it really comes down to. And I just went up to her and I was like, I'm sorry to interrupt. I was going to be mad at myself if I didn't say anything, et cetera, et cetera. You're so beautiful. And she's like, no say nada. And I was like, oh, shit. And then I had to use the old 7th grade Spanish, which was pretty
Wait,
remarkable.
you went from hello to yes.
That's
with
right.
7th grade Spanish? That's amazing.
That's pretty
Yeah, it's
impressive.
just like,
Let's hear it for that. That is some amazingness right there.
Hello to see.
Hello to see.
Hello to see.
Hola to see.
Hola to
That's
see.
it. That's it.
So that's extraordinary, Zach. Well, thank you for being here.
Thanks. Pleasure.
Vivian, we got one more sort of out of her mind, but complete rock star. Who's up?
We have the sales sorceress in the house.
Woo.
Whoop. Well, baby Bella went from selling beautiful little crafts on her front lawn as a 7-year-old to growing up and creating a multiple 7-figure real estate company, becoming the #1 business broker in the state of Nevada. She places more women salespeople than anyone else in the country at Aligned Sales, where she happens to also be CEO.
What's up, Bella Verita?
Hello, Sean Callaghan.
Coming from Long Beach Island, New Jersey today. Where are you in the world, Bella?
I am currently in where am I? Houston, Texas.
How do you forget where you are?
Because I'm typically in a different place like every couple weeks.
So I think Bella, do you remember, fun fact is Bella and Vivian. Vivian was on the sand. Bella, do you remember jumping in that ocean with massive seas and hurricane conditions?
I do. And I remember surfing on those waves and running running in that sand. I remember all the things.
All the things. So with that said, Bella, what is a fun fact about you?
Well, I think the fun fact I shared was pretty dope that I have mountain climbed blindfolded.
That's
pretty
Have you
dope.
done that?
That's badass.
I'm blind, Bella. Of course.
You haven't always been blind, Sean Callaghan.
That is true. So have I mountain climbed since I am blind? That's a good question. I would have to figure that one out.
Wow.
I'm impressed.
Not that
Well, it sounds like there might be a new adventure in store for us.
Yes.
I'm impressed as a climber.
Yes. Excellent. Bella, excellent. We're going to do the real raw from out here. Believe it or not, it would normally be like crazy windy and freezing, and it's not. So if it's too noisy, just let me know.
We can just see your forehead, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say just maybe
fix
tilt
that.
there we go.
There we go. This is
Perfect.
much better.
So
God,
Vivian,
Sean, you are beautifully placed. It looks like there's almost a rainbow. The skies have varying colors from blue to yellow and red. At least that's how it's perceived on my laptop. So you look like
God
a
is shining down on you.
angel.
yeah. So yes.
Like Monty Python.
Exactly. So Vivian, thank you so much. Fun day today. Love you for all that you do. We're going to drop in now.
Have fun.
Let's do this. I think we have a
Bella.
show to do.
Yes, let's go. Who's going first?
I think John is like up for some fun today.
I sense that. I feel that. So John, Bella could be anybody you want her to be. She could be an ideal client. She could be herself. She could be some avatar specifically that you know of by name as a human being in the world. People have been like Oprah Winfrey, Tony Robbins. People have even been Donald Trump that has been here. Who would you like Bella Verita to be?
So the way I build my business is, through referrals through real estate agents and real estate companies.
Mhm.
In addition to that, other trusted advisors. So maybe since Bella's a CEO, maybe she could be the CEO of, a local real estate company that's looking to bring in someone to be a preferred lender.
Love it.
All right.
Bella, are you ready to be CEO of a local real estate company looking for a preferred lender?
I am ready.
All right, take us in, my friend.
Hi, John. It's Bella.
Hey, Bella, how you doing today?
I'm excellent. How about yourself?
Doing great. Thank you for taking the time to meet with me today.
Thank you so much for making the time. I appreciate it.
So as I mentioned when we spoke on the phone initially, I saw that you guys were looking for a preferred lender to work with to try to help your agents close more deals and help grow their business. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, sir.
Okay. So can you tell me like what your pain point is today and what you think like the number one thing you guys need that we could help you with?
I would say, the current lender that we have, there has just been some, personality challenges with our agents. They and getting back to us on time or not in a timely manner. And it's really been frustrating to the agents. And so I started looking into, other lenders that we could work with that might, just be more on top of, returning phone calls and emails and things like this.
What type of personality issues do you reference? What does that mean?
They just, I often get feedback, again, that they're just short and they're not returning phone calls and they're not returning emails with the particular lender that we've been with. The
Okay.
customer service, we've been with them for a while, but, I think the customer service, part has declined. And so it's time for us to find someone new.
And like, what's your expectation? Like, how quick would you want someone to get back to your agents when they reach out to them?
Oh, that's a very good question. I think if it's early in the day, I think a return email, even if it's something that they can't get to until the following day, but even just a return email that says like, hey, received, we'll, have this for you tomorrow. Because, as sometimes buyers and sellers need answers, right away. And I would say, if it's later in the day, the following day.
Okay. That's very reasonable.
Yeah.
Anything else that I might be able to, any other pain points that you're feeling?
I would also as we're looking at new lenders, is someone that, is willing to, maybe come into the office once a month and, at least given that COVID is over, that comes in and, and just builds those relationships and says hi to our agents every now and again.
Oh, that's awesome. So I know we're short for time, so I'm just going to tell you a couple quick things. And this is what
let's do this, John, actually, because I want to hear all about what you're doing and I got to take a quick phone call right now. So if you'll give me about 2 minutes and I'll call you back because I'm very interested in where we can go from here.
Okay. You want me to hold on for 2 minutes? Is that what you're asking me for?
Yep.
No problem. Take your time.
Okay.
Right. Excellent work, John. That's round one. We're coming back in round two and Bella will bounce back. How'd that feel for you, John?
Pretty natural.
Nice. Excellent work. Bella, if you had one word for John.
Excellent.
Excellent. Very nice. Tiffany.
Hi,
Dr. Tiffany, the genie. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. Who would you like Bella to be?
I would like Bella to be an HR director of a healthcare clinic. It can have multiple locations, but fairly small. And if she could be that, that would be awesome.
All right. Multiple clinics, director of healthcare. And Bella, you ready?
Give me a couple quick bars on something like HR clinics would know. Give me just kind of couple things that I would want to talk about.
Sure. It's healthcare clinics. You would be the HR director. So the HR director does all of the planning and strategic planning for their employee engagement numbers.
Okay, got it.
Awesome.
Awesome. All right. Take us in.
Nice. Hi, Bella. This is Tiffany with Principium. How are you?
I am amazing, Tiffany. How about yourself?
I am wonderful. I wanted to reach out because we have a couple of mutual friends in the healthcare system. And I wanted to let you know that some of my clients are experiencing issues with the pandemic and a connection with the pandemic and burnout with their nursing staff, which can, cause many different things.
Definitely.
Is that something that you're experiencing in your clinics as well?
100%. Absolutely.
It is. What kind of challenges or impacts is that making on the patient care and with your employees?
I did, like you said, the healthcare providers are they are, burnt out. They're, overworked. We feel like we do a fairly good job of appreciation, the world as a whole is appreciating, our first responders and caregivers. But I think just emotionally, it's really starting to, wear on them with all the service that they are providing. And then, to be in a place where they, can't really surround themselves with very many people, and just like the long hours. And, we're starting to notice that it's taking a toll on their health.
I can understand that. What kind of emotional support are they receiving at the hospital, or do they have any?
We haven't put anything into place as of right now. It's just kind of something that we're noticing, but we don't have a plan for, any sort of like emotional care.
Yeah. And how is that impacting the patient care that they're providing?
I do know, at sometimes, we're not all perfect, and, sometimes as human beings, we get triggered or, short tempered. They do their best, and we try to do our best in understanding, as well. But, like things do happen, and sometimes, we have gotten complaints that, people have gotten, short and triggered, especially like at the end of the day. It can get really tough.
No, I can imagine. What other challenges are you facing?
I would say, with the burnout and people wanting to take more time off, is like getting schedules rearranged at the last minute when, people need time off or need an extra day off, or things like that. And like moving schedules around has been really challenging.
Okay. Well, Bella, I have an amazing program that I would like to discuss with you further. I know that we're short on time, but I wanted to reach out to you and see if it would be okay if we scheduled another call, so that way we can go over some different options that can help you to elevate
I need to take a quick call right now, but I can call you back and maybe you could tell me a little bit more, and then we'll see if we need a longer appointment.
That sounds great, Bella. Thank you.
Excellent work, Dr. Tiffany. How'd that feel for you?
It felt really good. Having the 3 minutes is challenging for me because I like to dig a little deeper, but I think overall it went okay.
All right, very nice. Bella, if you had one word for Dr. Tiffany.
Caring.
Felt it. All right, let's go to the judges. Kayla, we're gonna have 30 seconds of what worked. 15 seconds what worked, 15 seconds what could be optimized, 30 seconds overall, and a score on a scale of 1 to 10. Kayla, let's start with John. What do you have?
Sorry, I'm muted. This is my first Real Raw, so I've never done this before. So for John, I thought he did great. I think the beginning, you did really great with sharing kind of, I feel like you could have built a little bit more rapport, maybe like connection at first, but you asked really great questions. And what I got overall from Bella was that she really just wanted a relationship, somewhat like a person that was going to help her in real estate, that really cared about.
And your score is?
Score is 9.
Thanks, Kayla. And what'd you have for Dr. Tiffany?
Tiffany, I think she asked a lot of great questions as well. But maybe in the 3 minutes, there wasn't enough time to make that connection that your program can solve for her. I didn't quite get what your program was going to solve for her. So when she answers questions, maybe kind of agreeing like, yeah, like that's kind of a problem for me too, type of things would be helpful.
Awesome.
And your score?
I'm going to give her an 8.5.
Excellent. So let's go with Frank. What do you have for John?
So this is my first time as a judge. I did my first Real Raw yesterday, so I'm getting used to the process. But I thought John did a great job of gathering info, asking questions, getting engagement there. Or make more of an emotional connection, develop better rapport, and not use words like pain point. Maybe say what would be optimal. But smiling and rapport would give you better rapport and better energy. I gave you an 8.5.
Nice.
So for Tiffany, again, I thought she was great at identifying challenges, got a lot of questions, got Bella talking a lot about herself and her problems, which was great, digging into the pain points. I would say go for the yes sooner and just get like a real specific phrase around, hey, it's like you did, but you ran out of time a little bit. You're short on time on time. Why don't we schedule 20 minutes and I'll do a deeper dive on how we can help solve this, this, and this. I give you a 9 out of 10.
Nice. Excellent,
job.
John.
Thank you.
Zach, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, gracias. ¿Usted? We got better since then. As far as John goes, I thought you did great. You are that guy. You're professional. That's just who you are. Yeah, there could be maybe a little more, like people said, smiling or rapport. But at the same time, you dug into the right things. Your main thing is finding out info, and I think you did a great job of digging that out and finding the wants and needs of what the customer is looking for. You'd be surprised how many people don't do that. So I gave you a 9. And as far as Kayla, yeah, Mr. Green said it best. You got Bella talking a lot. In my profession, as far as interacting with people, you want to sit back more and listen, because they eventually will tell you how to sell them. And you were finding out, again, gathering information and intel and hopefully using that information down the road when she calls you back in the future. I also gave you a 9 as well.
Nice. Excellent job, Zach. So great job in round 1. Thank you, Kayla, Zach, and Kayla, Zach, and Frank for that round 1. And we are ready for round 2. Bella is back. We're going to switch it up. Dr. Tiffany, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, take us in.
Hi, Bella. It's Tiffany Johnson. How are you?
I'm good. I'm back. Thank you for waiting for me. I appreciate it.
Oh, you bet. I know that business comes first. So when you've got to take care of those patients and the people taking care of the patients, I completely understand. So I wanted to ask you, just to kind of pick up where we left off, you had mentioned that your patients, your employees, your teammates, the physicians, they're burning out and they're struggling with these emotions from having the pandemic, not being surrounded by their loved ones and so forth. Did I hear that correctly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And with that, it's hard doing the schedules and the arrangements because you're focusing all your attention on other things. Did I hear that as well?
Yes, that's correct. Yep.
Okay.
You were listening quite well.
Well, thank you. I take pride in that because my clients are everything to me. They're just, what you guys do on the front lines is spectacular, and the love and the compassion I have with a healthcare background. I understand what goes into healthcare, and I just appreciate y'all services.
Yeah, thank you.
And I wanted to mention what I've done in my past. Is that okay if I share with you a little bit about me and my background?
Yes, please do.
Okay. I've got 20 years of leadership experience with a healthcare background, and I have taken organizations and teams from the absolute worst patient satisfaction score up to one of the highest in the organization. And it was adopted by numerous facilities in that district. And I would love the opportunity to sit down with you and see how we can help amplify the communication, get the team engaged, even battling those emotional challenges that they're having and the burnout, and see how we can do that to also help that bleed into how they're taking care of the patients. Because when employees are burned out, they're not feeling their best, sometimes, like you had mentioned, it affects the patients too. Would that be something you would be interested in?
I absolutely would. Thank you so much for sharing your background. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Bella. And I look forward to speaking with you. How does Tuesday at 2:00 work for you for about 20 to 30 minutes?
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bella.
Dr. Tiffany, great job. Your presence, your congruence was felt.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Did it just get colder outside?
It got a hair colder. Relax there, Miss Bella Verita. Let's go. John, are you ready? Bella's back, and she is quite the smart aleck, John. So please take us in.
Hey, Bella. So thanks for getting back to me. Hope everything's okay on your end.
Yes, it is. Thank you so much for your patience. I appreciate it.
No, not a problem. Yeah, so just to really quickly summarize, when we spoke the last time or earlier today, you mentioned that, there was some personality issues with the agents. They wanted some faster replies back from the lender. So when there's mission critical issues, we gotta get them fixed quickly. They want quick
Yep.
follow-up. And you also mentioned about coming into the office, at least once a month. Did I miss anything?
No, you got it all. Thank you.
Okay. So I mean, I know a couple of your agents have worked with me in the past and they've been like phenomenal partners.
Mhm.
Have you heard of Guaranteed Rate? Do you know anything about Guaranteed Rate?
No.
So I can give you a quick little story. It'll take about 10 seconds.
Okay.
We're a Chicago-based firm, 20 years old. And about 7 years ago, the CEO decided to expand the company nationwide. So they hired recruiters to come in there and find, really the best people in each market to help grow their business. What we pride ourselves on is helping real estate agents, take their business to the next level. It's our number one focus from a marketing standpoint. We help our agents with their broker opens, their public opens, with marketing flyers. We send out direct mail for them.
Wow.
Anything that an agent possibly could need, we're pretty much at their beck and call. We can do pre-approval, same day turnaround. And really what I pride myself on is when an agent calls me, it's not just me. I've got a pretty good team behind me. So I have 2 sales assistants that are always watching my emails. So in the event when I'm in meetings like this, if somebody needs me and it's mission critical, they're going to get a call back within 2 hours, if not quicker.
Wow, that's amazing.
In addition to that, what I really pride myself is really like as a guru with the guidelines, because every single borrower out there is going to have a different scenario. And, last year I was the #1 originator in all of Essex County.
Wow.
And I know that my numbers were recorded earlier, but last year alone, my team was able to triple our volume and we did excess of $300 million just in 1 year.
Wow. That is incredible. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, I mean, this would be like a great win-win opportunity. I think your agents would love the opportunity for us to help them grow their business. And what I'd love to do when time permits is if there was somebody else with you making this decision, I could bring my team in and we could show you some of the marketing materials we can provide for you, give you samples of some of the trainings we've done, and really just, be a sponge and try to assist in any way we can.
Absolutely. I look forward to that.
All right.
Thank you so much, John.
So is next Wednesday good or is Thursday better?
Wednesday is great.
All right, great. So we'll see you then. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good work, sir. How'd that feel for you?
That was great. I was trying to smile.
No, excellent. All right.
I will say that part of the reason of my pain, I slipped down my stairs the other day, so my back is like in excruciating pain right now.
I am so sorry.
So I'll try to smile more. That was great feedback.
Excellent. Sorry about that. No, not good. Bella, how'd that feel for you?
It felt amazing. Your ability to convey your HUI is incredible.
Yeah, that was
Thank you.
excellent. Okay, so let's go reverse order. Zach, we have for Dr. Tiffany.
Dr. Tiffany, well, let's see here. Really good at, again, understanding and listening and addressing the problems right from the get-go. You said something that I really do like. You said that you mentioned how you take pride in what you in your customer service. I always think that's a big thing. It separates everybody from the competition. You did say the only thing I'd give advice about is you asked, would you be interested or can we do that, as opposed to not asking for permission. That's all. But I thought it was a strong close, and it was a 9.
Excellent.
Thank you. Great feedback. Thank you.
Zach, what'd you have for John?
John, really actually lined it up a little bit, and I probably would have brought up the back thing from the beginning. I think it was, making it relatable to people. John, really good job reviewing the information get-go. And it was a really, really strong close. You also mentioned the word pride, which again separates you from the competition. You take pride, it's personal. And then you let your numbers do the talking. Yeah, if you have the numbers, why not swing them out there and let it do it? Let it do its work. Yeah, it was great. A 10.
And your score is?
A 10. Yeah, it was great.
Wow, 10. Look at that. Putting a 10 on the board. Excellent. So you know what? I was thinking, Bella, the dynamic of bringing you, the other person, into the equation is of extraordinary value in every interaction. So yeah, I was thinking, if we could, Dr. Tiffany, would it be cool if I was you and maybe
Absolutely.
you could be Bella in that role play for a sec?
Okay, that would be great.
Yeah, awesome. Okay. So I'll be you. So I'll say Bella, and that's you as the HR director of a healthcare facility. Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay. So Bella, thanks so much for taking the call today. How are you doing?
Oh, hi, Sean. I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing really well. I mean, the world's a little bit crazy these days, with all the things that are happening. How's it impacting you guys where you are?
We are seeing a huge impact with employee morale, burnout among our nursing staff, our technicians, even our administration, but primarily with our physicians. They're working nonstop. I mean, head to wall is just, it's nonstop.
Yeah. Wow. And how long have you been with the facility?
I've been with the facility about 5 years.
Okay, awesome. And I can hear the empathy in your voice. And I just want to acknowledge you. I communicate with a lot of folks that are in a training, relationship development, human resources position. And a lot of folks get burnt out themselves. And you hear this sort of like distance that exists between them and the staff. I'm hearing your heart for the people. You just feel the empathy. So I really want to acknowledge that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
My staff means the world to me.
I feel it. So what's the ultimate vision? Like, what drives you personally? I know you want to solve these problems, either take care of things. I'm hearing how much they mean to you, but like, why? Like, what makes you tick?
Well, Sean, to put it best, when we are helping the community, it is not just the patient, it is the patient and their family members, and it extends out beyond. So the amount of influence that we can have on the community as a whole is so important. And it all begins with the care that they're receiving. And the care that they're receiving comes from the physicians, it comes from the nurses, it comes from the decisions and policies and procedures from our administration. So that is where my heart comes from, is that it's not just one patient, it is the community as a whole that our services affect.
Wow. Received like in my heart. And with that said, with this vision of like community impact, loving your team, would it be okay in these final 30 seconds or so, because I know you have to bounce, that I shared a little bit about my journey and what I'm up to?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. So again, my name is Dr. Tiffany, and what I stand for in the world sounds remarkably aligned with what you stand for in the world. I stand for people. I stand for impact, and I stand for it particularly in the space of healthcare workers. Obviously, we know what's happening in this world with this pandemic, but even beyond that, the emotional toll that the work with patients, life and death, health and sickness impacts really weighs on my heart. And I can't think of anything that's more impactful than the work we do as healthcare providers, that you do, that everybody at the facility does. So what I do is I come in and support amazing people like yourself that clearly have amazing vision, caring, and you, I'm sure, provide a massively positive impact on the morale of the company. And what I come in and work on is programs, supplements, and supports. And our track record is quite extraordinary, taking really challenged environments to number one in employee satisfaction in countless different situations and ways. But I know you're out of time. So my question is, how does that resonate for you, what we're sharing? And would you like to have a longer conversation to see how we could impact your facility, make your world easier, and have these people have an even larger impact in the community?
Absolutely, Sean. Absolutely. I would love to put you on my calendar.
Okay, awesome. All right, Dr. Tiffany, how'd that feel for you?
It felt great. Very energetic, very compassionate and passionate about the message. I could feel that we were in sync and that you understood me on an emotional level, not just the facts and the figures and the statistics. You were there with me emotionally, and that felt great.
Yeah, thank you. And the drop in, the purpose of that role play was really, so often, especially with time compression, we could really be present to just like getting our story out. And all of us, everybody, right? That's not about you, Dr. Tiffany. And if we have 3 minutes and we spend 2 minutes and 30 seconds deeply listening, reflecting, deep listening and acknowledgement, and a little bit on ourselves to create a longer meeting, the resonance of that energy and pull creates a desire for what we call congruent uniqueness, so people become curious. So just thought, Bella, how'd that feel for you?
That was extraordinary.
Well, thank you.
Right. Yeah.
You're not going to leave me like on a mountaintop, like looking for wine?
No, I definitely will not do that.
Thank you. So Kayla, what say you?
Yeah. So am I giving?
Yeah, let's go Dr. Tiffany. Yep.
Okay, great. So I actually liked how Tiffany said you had mentioned and asked for permission. I feel like that kind of gets you a connection and it makes the other person talk. You did a great job sharing what you do. And I really liked the close of when you set a date and time. You were confident with it. So I'm going to give you a 9.5.
Oh, excellent. How about for John, Kayla?
John, I think he did great at summarizing. I also agree if he would have shared, that his back was a little bit in pain, then it would have brought another connection too and not felt like memorized and robotic. I wouldn't say, can I share for 10 seconds? Because it wasn't 10 seconds, it was like 40. But that made me look at the clock because you mentioned a time. So I think other people would do that. Talking about her pain point was she wants someone fast and efficient. And that's what the definition of you are. So I think you sold her at that. So I'd also give you a 10.
Oh, 10's in the building. So Kayla, great job. Thank you so much for being here today and sharing your genius and mastery. And how was your day today on The Real Raw?
I loved it. I'm like addicted to it now. At first I was scared, but I'm like, can I be on?
What happens?
They're all so fun. I want to be on all of them and meet everyone.
Hey, are you trying to take Bella's seat?
No.
Okay.
She's good at her role playing. I don't want to do all that.
She's amazing.
But there are times that I need to take a day off or here and there.
Wait. I see
Wait,
where
no, hold on, I'm not done.
where this is going.
No. So you are the one, and you have full permission to bust as much chops as you can, because that's how you get this role.
Okay, well, I'm good. And I see your relationship with Sean too. I think I could jump in on that feistiness every once in a while too.
Yes! Team Bella in the house.
Kayla, I need you on my side. No. Okay. Amazing. So, Frank, what do you have for Dr. Tiffany, please?
So for Dr. Tiffany, I think you did an outstanding job. Really had a lot of warmth and connection, and dove into her reminder of the pain points, brought your expertise into it, and went for the close with specific, dates and great follow-up getting from below to yes. So great job. I gave you a 9.5.
Thank you.
For John, also great job. I thought, and a big improvement too from one to the next. I saw, again, like understanding the needs, reflecting them back, getting really into how you could solve the problem, the value that you add, the value that you bring to the table. Also love the authority that you bring to the table with the numbers and your expertise, and the 300 million, et cetera, was a big kind of the Cialdini authority frame. So
nice.
I like that. And again, great at going for the
and your score is?
Close. My score is also 9.5, and even extra bonus points because she started to cut you off, and you still went for the close and got the specific time.
So Frank, I like the Robert Cialdini drop. Amazing, from persuasion and influence. Awesome. Really appreciated your knowledge and wisdom and time today. And how was your day on The Real Raw today?
It was awesome. I love it. This is fun for me. This is a little scary because I have a bit of an addictive personality, and I'm afraid I'm going to get sucked into doing this.
You know what? This is like, brother, this is like the Hotel California.
So,
once you could check in, you could never leave. Bella,
yeah,
Bella,
exactly.
did you ever see Gilligan's Island?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Gilligan's
it
Island.
went for like a 3-hour tour, and then they
Yes.
ended up on the island for like 20 years. That's what happened to Bella. So amazing.
Marianne just passed away. You know, I don't know if you.
No.
Yeah, she
Marianne
did
just passed away.
COVID.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
fun fact, I had a week booked on Gilligan's Island and COVID messed it up.
Oh no.
Wow.
That is
Legit Gilligan's Island, it's in Puerto Rico.
yes, that's unbelievable. Oh my goodness.
I was doing a talk show on Blab, 6 years ago, and it was like Zoom, pre-Zoom, and what happened was I got sucked in, and I was doing it all the time, so everything else fell to the
Well,
way.
it might be interesting though, Frank, if there's a way to like earn a living and make money and like have more free time and have more impact if you did Real Raws. Like that could be a thing. So we'll talk about
Well,
that.
let's discuss it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's kind
So,
of a thing. Yeah.
there is. By the way, Zach, how was your day on the Real Raw today?
That was great. I find it really interesting that people from all different backgrounds all over the country, and we could still, you could automatically tell what works and what doesn't work right away. And I really appreciate that. And I definitely learned. It was cool.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for that as well, my friend. Yes, Dr. Tiffany, thank you for being here. Great job. And how was your day today?
Oh, this is wonderful. I've watched so many of y'all's YouTube videos and it is addicting. So not Mr. Orange, it is very addicting. But there's so much value in all of this, the role playing and the getting to know people and just learning from each other. So it's beautiful. So thank you so much for having me on today.
Thank you. And the rock star of the mortgage world, John, how was your day?
I'm not a rock star. I'm just, somebody that works really hard. And I do appreciate, A, being invited, and B, that the feedback was phenomenal. And thank you very much for having me. It's a great organization. This is the second time I've been on.
Oh,
Thank
that's
you.
awesome.
Appreciate you very much. So, yeah. And Bella, final.
Yes. Final is, some of you have been back here and you might still be wondering, like, what is the Real Raw? Like, what is Unblinded? So every Monday night, we have an incredible summit where we bring in incredible speakers that, where you get to like grow and accelerate and add magic. And that magic trick that Sean did with Tiffany? You actually get to learn the formula for how he did that. So do you think that's worth coming? Yes. So Monday nights at 7:00. And if you're interested, someone will reach out to the team and maybe schedule a strategy call or something like that with you if you want to just get a little strategy on your business.
Yeah, amazing. So yeah, last Monday we had Michael Burnett of
Yep.
Success Resources, founder, CEO. The week before we had Brittany Turner that owns an island in between Richard Branson and Larry Page of Google that was listed for $60 million, and she's 32, and she owns the island. And we had the unique privilege of being there. So crazy stuff. We have great guests coming up this week. Thank you all for being here. You've been fantastic in the more than 400 Real Raws since COVID began. And this is one of the most connected, cohesive, loving group we've had, really. And I mean that sincerely, because some days a little bit of significance that shows itself, which is totally cool. This is just a heart-centered, fun group. So thank you all. Bella, fantastic job as always, because we are all blind.
And just learning to see.
See you Monday. See you